Homework and studying for exams are hard enough. Adding a commute could make it that much more challenging for students who don't always have access to a full college education.
News Channel 3 Shelby Nelson tonight taking a deeper dive into the push for expanding higher education opportunities here in the Coachella Valley.
Well, there's no doubt a four-year university could certainly create jobs and, of course, allow local students the chance to obtain an education. I sat down with several of the key players in the desert who have been fighting for this. Now the question, can we see a four-year CSU standalone campus?
Like most kids, I feel a little bit nervous. This is my first year in college, so I do feel a little nervous, but I'm excited knowing that I'm here at home.
An exciting time for Jason Davalos and hundreds of other Coachella Valley students headed to college. The next 4 years are bound to set them on a career path, and for Davalos, that's nursing.
I really couldn't find a school that could match the offer that I got here. So this is really where I feel at home, in my home.
Like so many others, many students are looking to stay home, giving them a chance to save some money and be close to family. But not every student in the Coachella Valley gets to stay local.
There are dozens of programs offered here at the Palm Desert Extension campus of CSU San Bernardino. But the problem remains, many of these students who live out here in the Coachella Valley are still having to take courses at the main campus more than an hour away.
Everywhere that has a well-diversified, high-paying economy has a university. We are the only place in the United States with 500,000 or thereabout permanent residents that doesn't have a four-year comprehensive university that offers STEM degrees.
Joe Wallace has been at the forefront of trying to make CSU Palm Desert a reality. He's the CEO of the Coachella Valley Economic Partnership, a company that produced a recent study highlighting the overdue need for a standalone campus. Only 16% of the Coachella Valley workforce holds a bachelor's degree. While a satellite campus is a start, Wallace says it's not enough.
And a lot of the kids, especially from the East End, are from families that are struggling financially. The young people are expected to help. And how can you go to college and take all of these hard courses and then work and, pitch in $30, $40 a day to the family that needs it?
It's a proposal that's years in the making. The state paid for this report delivered last summer by independent consultants. It analyzed 5 locations for a prospective 24th CSU campus: Chula Vista, Stockton, Concord, San Mateo County, and Palm Desert. It did find the Palm Desert campus has potential to serve first-generation and lower-income students, but the conclusion fell short, finding that the projected 2035 enrollment demand alone does not justify the development of a new 7,500 full-time equivalent student campus at any of those 5 locations. But local supporters aren't backing down, saying it's clear that the need is right here. Not one full-fledged university in a 60-mile radius compared to other locations considered.
If ever there was a magical thing that would make everybody's life better, it's education.
Mayor Pro Tem Jan Harnick and the city of Palm Desert are equally involved in the effort.
Years ago, our city and the council at that time, it's a couple decades ago, recognized that if we were ever going to be in a position to elevate life and to create a vibrant economy in this valley, we needed education. And today, the city of Palm Desert has donated 170 acres to the CSU system for that campus.
The city, along with CVEP and the Greater Palm Springs Convention and Visitors Bureau, took one more step, forming the nonprofit Priority One Coachella Valley.
The purpose was to hire lobbyists that have influence with the governor, because ultimately the governor is the one who really makes these decisions.
Project supporters have been flooding the governor's office in an effort to make their voices heard.
What we were doing is we blew up their fax machines. They were having to put new paper in every half an hour from people here that were sending out faxes.
Studies project the 4-year university could pour millions of dollars into the economy, create thousands of jobs, and of course boost education. Donated land, a community backing. So what's really the next step?
This year we put in a $100 million request to the administration and the budget chairs. There is a little over $2 billion that looks like it's going to happen for the Cal State system for a new infrastructure. We're hoping to continue to keep fighting to make sure that we get some of that money to get to Palm Desert.
Local Assembly members Chad Mays and Eduardo Garcia now working together to get a piece of the pie. The money has not specifically been allocated to any specific school, and now representatives will likely be fighting for the same thing all across the state. Among some of the requests, $500,000 to study the implementation of a hybrid campus in Palm Desert and $1 million towards expanding current infrastructure.
For us, it's important that we try to fine-tune some language that gets more specific and try to get our hands on some of that $100 million that is in the budget. That's ultimately the end goal.
If you do support the plan, organizers say you can sign the petition. You'll find a link on our website, kesq.com. Shelby Nelson, News Channel 3.